Now we're moving on to dividing real numbers, and the same rules that apply to multiplying apply to dividing. If you're dividing two numbers with different signs, it's going to be negative answer, and if you're if you're dividing two numbers with the same sign, it's going to be positive. If you try to divide by 0, it depends what order they're in. So if I have 0 things and I'm trying to divide it into 8 groups, I will have 0 things in each group. But if I have 8 things and I try to divide that into 0 groups, that's not possible because I still have that one group of 8 things, so they call that undefined. Okay, let's try dividing these real numbers. I have a negative divided by a positive, means I'm going to have a negative number. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Negative divided by negative tells me I'm going to have a positive answer, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. 11 divided by 0 is undefined. I cannot divide a number by 0. Negative divided by negative gives me a positive. 36 divided by 9 is 4. Positive divided by negative, different signs, gives me a negative. 20 divided by 10 is 2. And here again I have different signs, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. Hopefully you can do those on your own at this point, since dividing and multiplying should be pretty easy for you. A skydiver's elevation changes by negative 3,600 feet in 4 minutes after the parachute opens. What is the average change in the skydiver's elevation each minute? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how fast this person is falling. So we take the elevation change, the negative 3,600, and we divide it by those 4 minutes, and that tells us that he dropped 900 feet each minute. Okay, let's apply that to our own question. If you make 5 withdrawals of equal amounts from your bank account, the total amount you withdrew is $360. What is the change in your account balance each time that you make a withdrawal? Okay, withdrawals means that you're taking money out, so that's a negative. Okay, so 360 is our total, but that was between 5 withdrawals. So if I have different signs, I'm going to have a negative answer. And 360 divided by 5 gives us $72. This means that we took out, or our account went down by $72 each time I went to the bank to take money. Okay. Reciprocal is your next vocab word. Meaning the product of a number and its reciprocal is 1. All right, that doesn't explain reciprocal very well. Reciprocal is when you flip something. So if I have the fraction 1 over 2, its reciprocal is 2 over 1. What this definition is saying that if I take this number and its reciprocal and I multiply them together, no matter what, I'm always going to get 1. Any product of a number and its reciprocal is always going to be 1. Okay, for every non-zero number, there is a multiplicative inverse. That is just another word for reciprocal. You might see either in the textbook or in the notes, but they mean the same thing. Okay, dividing fractions. If there's, for this one that they're showing here, if x is negative 3/4 and y is negative 2/3, but they give it to you as x over y, this fraction bar really just means to divide. Okay, so that means I have negative 3/4 divided by a negative 2/3. And if you remember from 7th grade, we don't have to actually divide fractions. We keep, change, flip. Okay, so we will really have negative 3/4 times a negative 3 over 2. then I can just multiply straight across. I have two negatives, so my answer is going to be positive, and straight across gets me 9/8. You can leave it like this, or you can change it into 1 1/8. Okay, so we're going to try a couple of these. They're telling us that a is -1/2, so I have a -1/2 times 3/4. Okay, because the a is not in parentheses, oh, it is here. Okay, so I really have +1/2 times 3/4, and I'm just going to multiply straight across, and I'm going to get 3/8 for number 38. Then b is 3/4 divided by -6, which is really like a -6/1. So I'm going to do my keep, change, flip, which gives me 3/4 times a -1/6. Then when I multiply straight across, I have 3/24 and a negative, since they're different signs, and then I can simplify it to -1/8. You also could have simplified before you multiplied and changed these into a 1 and a 2. Okay, last but not least, letter C is -6 divided by a, which is a -1/2. I'm going to keep, change, flip, which is going to give me a +12. Okay, if you have any questions about this, because some of this is a little tricky, especially the dividing fractions, make sure you contact me. Otherwise, your assignment for this lesson is on page 42, numbers 20 through 46 even, 56,